In April of 1993, a prison riot broke out in Ohio. It happened at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in a town called Lucasville. This was not a small event. It was actually one of the longest and deadliest prison uprisings in modern American history. For 11 long days, the prison was a place of chaos and fear. When it was all over, 9 prisoners and 1 corrections officer were dead. The state wanted to find who was responsible for these terrible events. They pointed fingers at a group of men who became known as the Lucasville Five. These 5 men were given the harshest sentences, including the death penalty for leading the riot. George Skatzes was one of these 5 men. His story is complicated. The state said he was a leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, a white supremacist gang, and that he helped plan the violence. They said he was responsible for multiple deaths inside the prison walls. But George Skatzes has always said he is innocent. He claims he did not kill anyone. In fact, he says he was trying to protect people and act as a peacemaker during the riot. His supporters believe he was a scapegoat, someone unfairly blamed for the actions of many. His case is full of questions and contradictions that have never been fully answered. The legal battle that followed the riot was messy. Many people believe the trials were unfair. They say the state used unreliable witnesses, often other inmates who were offered deals to reduce their own sentences. These witnesses, sometimes called snitches, told stories that implicated the Lucasville Five. Supporters of Skatzes and the other men argue that the truth was buried under a pile of lies and deals made in desperation. Because of this, George Skatzes became more than just a prisoner. He became a symbol of a justice system that many people feel is broken and unjust. Decades later, George Skatzes remains on death row. His health is failing, but his fight for exoneration continues. His name is still spoken in circles of activists who campaign against the death penalty and for prison reform. They see his case not just as the story of one man, but as a powerful example of how the system can fail. The story of the Lucasville riot is a dark chapter in Ohio's history. It is a story of violence, of questionable justice, and of lives changed forever. And at the very heart of this long, dark story is George Skatzes, a man whose guilt or innocence is still debated to this day. Into this complex and emotional story steps a woman named Erin Bunner. She is not a lawyer. She is not a politician. She is an activist, a person who fights for a cause she believes in. For years, Erin has been a visible figure in the movement to support the Lucasville Five. She has organized events, spoken at rallies, and managed online campaigns to bring attention to their cases. Her voice has been loud and consistent, always arguing that these men did not receive a fair trial. She presents herself as a dedicated advocate, someone working tirelessly to uncover the truth and fight for justice. Erin Bunner's work often puts her at the center of the conversation. She uses social media and public gatherings to share information about the case. She tells the stories of the men on death row, trying to show the human side of those who have been labeled monsters by the state. Her passion is clear to anyone who hears her speak. She talks about the need for a new investigation and for the evidence to be re-examined. For many who follow the Lucasville case, Erin is seen as a key organizer, a person who keeps the memory of the riot and the fight for the men alive for a new generation. Her role seems to go beyond simple activism. She often speaks with a deep personal connection to the case, especially when she talks about George Skatzes. This is where her story becomes more personal and more mysterious. She doesn't just talk about Skatzes as a symbol of injustice. She speaks of him with a familiarity that suggests a relationship that is much closer than that of a typical activist. This has made people curious. Her dedication appears to be fueled by something more profound than a simple belief in a cause. It seems to come from a place of deep personal investment in the fate of one particular man. Through her efforts, Erin has helped build a community of supporters. These are people from all walks of life who have come to believe that a great injustice occurred in Lucasville. They share articles, sign petitions, and donate to legal funds, often because of the information and passion that Erin provides. She has become, for many, the public face of the ongoing struggle for the Lucasville Five. She is the link between the men locked away on death row and the outside world that she hopes will one day set them free. But a quiet rumor has started to spread, suggesting her connection is deeper than anyone knew. The central mystery surrounding Erin Bunner is a powerful and personal one. For some time now, there have been whispers and private claims that she is not just an activist fighting for George Skates. The rumor is that she is his biological daughter. This claim is not something you will find in official court documents or on a birth certificate that has been made public. It exists in conversations, in private messages, and in the quiet beliefs of some people within the movement. Erin herself has allegedly made this claim to certain individuals, creating a powerful narrative that connects her directly to the man whose freedom she seeks. If this claim is true, it changes everything about how we see her work. It would mean her fight is not just for justice, but for her father. It would explain the incredible passion and the years of dedication she has given to this difficult cause. A daughter fighting for her father's life is a powerful human story. It adds a layer of love, loyalty, and tragedy to the already complex legal case of the Lucasville Five. This potential relationship would make her activism deeply personal, transforming her from a supporter into a direct family member fighting against a system she believes has wronged her own blood. However, there is no public proof to support this claim. No official records have ever been presented to confirm that Erin Bunner is George Skatzes' daughter. This lack of evidence has created a divide within the activist community. Some people believe her completely. They see her dedication as proof enough and accept her word without question. They feel that demanding proof would be insensitive and disrespectful to her and to Skates. For them, her tireless work is all the confirmation they need to believe in her personal connection to the case. They see a devoted daughter fighting for her dad. On the other hand, some activists are skeptical. They question why this claim has been kept relatively private and why no concrete evidence has been offered. They worry that if the claim is not true, it could damage the credibility of the entire movement. The fight for the Lucasville Five is based on facts and evidence, and they fear that an unproven personal story could distract from the core legal arguments. This group is not necessarily accusing her of lying, but they are cautious. They want to protect the movement from anything that could harm its reputation and its chances for success. The question of Erin Bunner's relationship to George Skates adds another layer of mystery to a story already full of them. What would it mean if the claim were true? It would add a heartbreaking dimension to the Lucasville legacy. It would mean that for decades, a daughter has been fighting from the outside for a father locked away on the inside, a man she may have never known in a normal family setting. This narrative would attract immense public sympathy and could bring a new kind of attention to the case, one focused on family and human connection rather than just legal arguments about the riot itself. Conversely, what would it mean if the claim were false? It would raise difficult questions about her motivations. Some might wonder if the story was created to gain more influence within the activist community or to draw more personal attention to her work. If proven untrue, the claim could cause serious harm to the Lucasville Five support movement. Opponents could use it to discredit all their efforts, suggesting the movement is built on emotional manipulation rather than solid facts. It could create deep divisions among supporters, making it harder for them to work together toward their common goal of achieving justice for the men. This uncertainty leaves everyone in a difficult position. Without confirmation, the claim remains in a gray area, neither proven nor disproven. It is a personal story that has become entangled in a very public legal battle. The truth, whatever it may be, belongs to Erin Bunner and George Skates. It is their private history to share or to keep silent. For those on the outside, it is a reminder that behind every legal case and every political movement, there are complex human beings with their own stories, secrets, and motivations that we may never fully understand. Ultimately, the mystery of Erin Bunner's identity serves as a powerful symbol for the Lucasville case itself. The entire story of the 1993 riot is filled with unanswered questions, conflicting stories, and truths that may be lost forever. Is George Skates a violent leader or a peacemaker? Did the Lucasville Five get a fair trial? And is Erin Bunner a devoted daughter or a pretender? Just like the bigger questions about what really happened inside those prison walls, this personal puzzle may never be solved, leaving us with yet another enduring mystery from Lucasville.